New episode of the Riff Rundown with the awesome folks at Fishman. My name is Angela Petrilli. This is the first live lesson of 2022. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. Happy New Year. All of that good stuff. It is good to be back. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. A really, really fun song to play. We've got a real wacky alternate tuning that we are going to be in today, but it's going to be a lot of fun. As always, I will talk you through all the parts and all of that good stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what I would like you to do before we get started here is go ahead and get your guitar in this tuning from low to high, okay? Your low E string, bring it all the way down to B, B as in boy. And the rest of the strings, D. All of them are going to be tuned to a D note. Your A string, D string, G string, B string, and E string, they're all going to be D notes, okay? So it's just B's and D's. That's all we have here today as far as the tuning. I'm gonna go ahead and play the tune real quick, and I'll go ahead and walk you through how to tune this down. Sorry, there we go. We're live, folks. So I'll talk you through all that stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So before we get started, again, as always, folks, let me know where you are tuning in from and some goals you have as a guitar player for this new year that we are in. So where you're tuning in from and some goals you have as a guitarist in this new year. Okay, so here we go. This is Iris. So that is the tune that we're going to be learning today. A really, really fun one. Again, a wacky tuning that we are in. I also want to let you guys know too, when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I hope all of you guys do, I give you guys hints on Wednesdays and Thursdays of what the song might be. I never say exactly what song, but I give you hints. So with this one, I gave you guys the hint of the tuning. So let's go ahead and talk about that here. So your E string, you're going to tune it all the way down to B. B as in boy. Your A string, tune it down to D. Your D string, keep it as is. We're going to keep that at D. G string all the way down to D. Your B string, tune it up to D. And your E string, the high E string, tune it down to D. So those of you who are here now and say there's always some latecomers to this show, if we have folks in the chat asking what tuning we are in today, I'd love it if some of you can fill them in so they can play along with us. So I'd really appreciate that. So I'll thank you guys in advance. So that's what's going on there as far as the tuning. Now, I've left my guitar in this tuning for about 2 to 3 days just so the guitar can get used to it. It is really wacky. Everything's really low. So give your guitar a little bit of space to kind of breathe and get used to this tuning. Also, too, if you guys really like this tuning and want to keep your guitar in this tuning for a while, I would suggest maybe using a heavier gauge string that may help with the intonation and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's a fun one. So if you guys are just tuning your guitar to this tuning, it may sound a bit wacky. You're gonna have to keep retuning. That's fine. Have a tuner handy as we're going over this one today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and look at the intro here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that intro now. We've got the main intro part that Johnny Resnick is playing, okay? And then what I did is I did the mandolin part. I watched a lot of different live versions of this song. So there's always another guitar player doing that line. So the line that I'm going to teach you guys today was from a version I saw. It was either in 2013 or 2015. But yeah, it's a nice little part, and again, you can blend it in nicely. How I think about this lesson here that we're learning today, I really wanted to cater it to if you were playing this just as one person on an acoustic guitar. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on that intro. So what we want to do here is your first finger, you're going to place that on the 9th fret of this A string. And that is something I want to mention too. I know we are in an alternate tuning, but I will call the string names out as if we are in standard, just so we can keep things crystal clear, okay? So even though, yes, is this A string tuned down to D? Yes, but I will call it the A string here in terms of this lesson, just so we can stay on track and be crystal clear, okay? So we're gonna do here that first finger, placing it on the A string. Okay, your pinky finger, your 4th finger, I want you to go ahead and reach up there to the 12th fret of that D string, okay? And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna strum everything really wacky, right? Really wacky, but quite beautiful at the same time, very haunting, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I've got that pinky finger on the 12th fret. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it back to the 11th fret of that D string. So it's gonna sound like this. Again, drony and weird and dark, but that's okay. That's just a beautiful part of Johnny Resnick's playing, as he likes doing and exploring these alternate tunings, which is really, really neat. So we've got this. Right? Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and play this in context, just the intro, so you can hear how these parts go along together, okay? So here it is, and I'll play it slow, and then I'll do it a little bit faster here. Do that again. So just like that, so we've already talked about that first finger. Again, 9th fret of that A string, your 4th finger, go ahead and put that on the 12th fret of the D string. Then bring that 4th finger back to the 11th fret. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that a couple times here. And again, with this strumming hand here, we want to keep it moving, okay? It's a nice up-down pattern here, okay? Just keep it moving. Okay, again, it sounds wacky and drony, but that's what's so cool about this, all right? So we've got that with that pinky finger moving from the 12th fret to the 11th fret. Now we're gonna do here, after that happens, we're gonna bring that pinky finger back to the 12th fret just for a moment, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and play that so you can hear it in context. Just like that. All right, so let's go over that for a few moments here. Again, we've got a lot of notes here, and again, lots of droning D notes there. Again, bringing a nice fullness to this. Go ahead and do that again. All right, so that's what's happening there. Also, I want to mention this. When I was watching a solo acoustic version of Iris that Johnny Rzeznik was playing by himself, I noticed that he took out the high E string. I wrote it in my notes here. It was the classic rock solo acoustic version. It was on this, it was called Classic Rock. And the solo acoustic version, he didn't have the high E string. So again, something to think about. We're including it here today, but when I noticed when he played it live, in that version, he omitted it. So kind of cool, something interesting to think about and to watch. So I encourage you guys, go ahead and watch that version. It's quite beautiful. It's quite beautiful. So we've got that part. Now we're gonna go to this. Now, what we wanna do here with this series of chords, we do not want to play this low E string, okay? So when we're strumming, and again, notice how we're keeping this moving, we want to make sure that we don't hit it. Our lowest string is going to have to be that A string, okay? So here's what we're going to do here. I'm choosing to grip it like this. My second finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the A string, okay? And my third finger is going to go on the 5th fret of that D string here, like this. And we're going to strum the bottom 5. Okay, we don't want to strum this big E string here. Now, when I saw Johnny Rzeznik playing it live, I saw that he used the 3rd and 4th finger to do this chord. To me, this one is more comfortable for me, the 2nd and 3rd finger. But if we want to stay, if you want to be truly, truly authentic to how Johnny does it, I notice he did the 3rd and 4th. So I'll leave that up to you. All right, but again, you know, like to give you guys little tidbits of information. Again, I plant the seeds here, folks. I'm your guitar mentor. So that's what's happening there, okay? So 2nd and 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the A string and D string respectively. Now what we do here, 1st finger goes down 4th fret of that D string. All right. Just like that, okay? So let's go ahead and do that nice and slowly here, those 2 chords. Just like that, all right? So after that section, we're gonna go ahead and go back to our 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the A string and D string respectively. 1 strum, go back, bringing the 1st finger to the 4th fret of that D string, and then release 1st finger, that open D string there. Okay, so it would sound like this. So that's what's happening on that D string. But we're, again, continuously strumming this. And notice how it's a down, up, down. Strum. All right, so let's go ahead and do this from the top nice and slowly here. And that's our intro, okay? So here we go. few more times here. Okay, so that's what's happening on the intro. Now what we can do here, and you can go ahead and once this is on YouTube, and you can go and rewind and all that good stuff. I did this part in the intro too. I'm mimicking that mandolin part that we hear in the intro. Okay, and it's gonna sound something like this. Again, I took this from a live version of this song where they had another guitar player doing this. Now, if we listen to the original tune, right, it's a mandolin, but since we don't have a mandolin here today, we're gonna do it on this acoustic guitar. So, how we're going to do this, okay, you're gonna get your first finger, placing that on the 7th fret of that B string, okay? I know this is tuned down to D, but to keep this crystal clear, I'm gonna call the string names as if we were in standard. So, what we're gonna do here, 7th fret, first finger on that B string. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get that 3rd finger and hammer on to the 9th fret of that B string. Now, if you'll notice here, I'm having that E string ring throughout the entirety of this part. I encourage you guys to do that too. It makes it sound more mandolin-like. Okay, and I also got that G string in there too, which is also tuned down to D and actually sounds pretty good. So again, if you happen to even get that top one, it's gonna sound great. Kind of neat, right? So again, first finger on that 7th fret of the B string, hammering onto the 9th fret, going back to the 7th fret of that B string. Let's go through that again. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is this. At that 7th fret, we're gonna go ahead and hammer on to the 9th fret of the B string one more time, sliding that first finger down to the 5th fret of that B string, okay? Here's what it's gonna sound like. Just like that. Take your time, slow and steady here, folks. Okay, let's do that again. Just like that. Okay, so again with a little more speed here. So once we are here on that 5th fret of the B string, what we're gonna do here is hammer on to that 7th fret of the B string. Just like that. Okay, so again in context with the rest of it. Again. And again, notice how this hand keeps moving, okay? The strumming hand keeps moving. We're just strumming the B string and E string. If you happen to get that G string in there, that's okay too. Now, once we hammer on to that 7th fret of the B string, go ahead and put that first finger on the 4th fret of the B string. Okay, so just like that. Let's go ahead and add those parts together nice and slowly here. Beautiful little line. Okay, let's go ahead and do that again. Now, once we're there on that 4th fret of the B string, slide that back now to the 2nd fret of that B string, and then release. Open B string, open E string. Now let's go ahead and put that in context. Here's the whole first part. I'll do it nice and slowly here. Again. again when I do it right. Here we go. Again. With a little more speed. Okay, so that's part one. As far as part two goes, the only difference is going to be the end. So it's going to sound like this. So all we're doing, that's different in part two, once we get to that second fret of the B string, and then have the open B string and E string, just go back to the second fret of the B string, and then open B string and E string one more time. That's it, okay? So I'm gonna do part one and part two. I'll do them slowly here, and then what I'll do for added context, I'm gonna play it along with the intro chords, okay? So here we go, nice and slowly here, folks. Part two. Let's do that one more time here. Part one. Part two. To get weird and minor, you can just go and play on the third fret. Again, we're live, folks. It happens. All right, here we go. One more time. Part one. Part two. Now, with the intro chords, here we go. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Now, once we finish that, once we get to the walking bass line, right at that verse, the verse sounds like this. So that's the verse. Not too bad. Again, notice how the strumming hand keeps moving. Now, what's really cool, and it's a little tricky, but it's fun, and if you can get the timing of it, it sounds absolutely fantastic, is when we finish that mandolin line, and land right on that third fret of the E string, and then get right into the verse. So it's got to be pretty seamless. So that's something, again, to keep in mind here as we're doing this into that verse, okay? So what we're gonna do here, we'll go through that line nice and quickly. What's gonna happen here, I want your second finger on the third fret of that E string, okay? It's a low B string. We've tuned it down, right? And thank you, Reckless575, for giving everybody the tuning. I appreciate it. Second finger, third fret of that E string, okay? So in actuality, this note is a D note. Why? We have the open B, we have C here at the first fret, and then we have D here at the third, okay? So let's go ahead and do the mandolin intro into that first note of the verse, okay? So here we go. Work on the timing of it. It's a really, really nice seamless move there. Seamless move, I encourage you guys, make that happen. It's really, really gonna, adds a nice touch, okay? So what we have here is the verse part. Okay? All it is, we're moving this bass line. We're not doing anything else, right? Those are the notes we're hitting. It's great. Now, the way I like to do this, I like to hybrid pick this. If you wanted to just strum those open strings, you can. But I like a little bit of a lighter touch. Again, me personally, I like the sound of the pick or plectrum, wherever you are from in the world. I like the sound of that, plus the sound of flesh that we get from our fingertips, okay? So I like to do this. Versus the pick. Both are excellent. Both are excellent. But again, I plant the seeds here with these riff rundowns. I'm going to give you guys the option. Go ahead and do both. Now, the bass line goes like this. We'll talk about the bass line first, and we'll get into the strumming. So, second finger, 3rd fret of that E string. Then you're going to move that up a whole step to the 5th fret. Then a step and a half to the 8th fret of that E string. Then your open B string to the 10th fret, back to your 8th fret, 1st finger. Okay? So let's just go through those moves there. 3rd fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, open string, 10th fret to 8th fret. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Let's do it a little faster. Or 3rd fret, let's do that again. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Let's go ahead and add the open strings. Now we've got, it's a down, up, down, up. Okay, but again, we want to keep this moving. And I'm just using the pick here, okay? So bass note, down, up, down, up. Just like that. And it's the same thing for all of these parts, okay? So we've got 3rd fret to 5th fret, 8th fret, open string, 10th fret, 8th fret. Okay, let's go ahead and do that again. Just like that, okay? So what we're gonna do here, let's go ahead and do it a little faster. Do that again. Again. All right, so that's what's happening there in the verse. Now let's do this. We're gonna go back to the intro. We will do the intro, we will do the mandolin part, and then into the verse. So here we go. Again, thank you all for being here. It's so fun teaching Iris today. Such a blast hanging out with you guys at the Riff Rundown. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to do that. It helps the cause. Would love it if you did. It's good stuff. All right, so here we go. Intro, mandolin part, verse. Let's do this. Part. verse. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. So that's what's happening there, okay? The craziest part about this song is the crazy tuning that we are in. You guys can totally do this. You can totally do this. Again, I want to say to my advanced and my intermediates who are watching today, let's give a little encouragement to our beginners who are watching. Beginners, you can do this. You can do this. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. All right? So that's the verse. Now, when we get into the chorus is very familiar for us. Why? It's a lot of the same chords that we see in the intro, okay? So the chorus goes like this. Happening there, okay? So that chorus part, what's happening, first finger and pinky finger, what we're going to use, first finger is going to go on the 9th fret of the A string, that fourth finger placing it on the 12th fret of the D string. So we've got this. Bring the fourth finger back, 11th fret of that D string. To here, second finger, 5th fret of the A string, third finger, 5th fret of the D string. That's it. It's those 3 chords, okay? So nice and slow here. Bit faster. So this is the chorus. That's it. That's it. So you guys got it. All right. So now we're going to do here real quick. We're going to go ahead, intro, mandolin part, verse, chorus. Okay. So here we go, folks. This has been so much fun. This has been so much fun. Happy New Year, everybody. All right, here we go. And after that, we go back into the intro, we have another verse, and we have another chorus, okay? So that's what's going on there. One thing I do want to mention too is when we're playing this chord, notice how you cannot see my thumb, okay? I don't want to see your thumb up here. Notice what happens with my hand. See how it kind of cramps up and shortens? We don't want that reach to shorten. So keep your thumb, right? So right where the back of the neck, right, where it starts to curve, I want your thumb on that top of where it's curving, okay? So my thumb here, okay, is just behind, if I were to bring it up so you can see it, it's gonna be just behind that first finger, okay? So if I did it like that, see? So that's where you want your thumb. Middle of the neck, no thumb up here, it's gonna make it really difficult to play, okay? So I want you guys to be comfortable too. I don't want it hurting when you guys are playing, so like that, All right. So again, this is a live Q&A too, okay? It's good to be back after a couple weeks off for the holiday. Those of you guys who have questions, I'm reading the comments here, so thrilled. All of you are here today. If you guys have questions about the gear and the guitars and all of that good stuff, and as far as techniques with this song, happy to answer them live here today. Again, I want to thank the folks at Fishman for helping me do these riff rundowns week after week. I'm going to leave a link in the video description of the gear that I use and all the cool stuff that Fishman is up to. So I will leave it in the video description there so you guys can check it out and hear all about the R Spectrum DI I use and the Matrix Infinity Enhanced pickup that's in here and the Loudbox Performer amp. So all of that good stuff is there. They've got some cool stuff, so be sure to check that out. So again, so happy to be here. Today's tuning B, D, 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 D. Five D notes and a B note. So that's what's happening here today in this tune that we are playing. So we've got that down. We have the intro, we have the verse, we have the mandolin part, right? We've got the chorus, okay? So what's gonna happen here, let's go ahead and look at that interlude. Again, very similar to the verse that we did, so don't worry, just a couple different notes here, okay? This is the interlude. It sounds like this. Very similar. Okay, just like that. I just saw a hilarious comment. I'm gonna have to mention this. So as I mentioned, right, B's and D's are it's the tuning, the alternate tuning today. And someone wrote, looks like my report card in high school. That is hilarious. So thank you for that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Again, thank you all so much for being here. We got folks from all around the world. As always, thank you so much. We got Canada in the house. We have Greece. We have Florida. Lots of Florida. We have England. We have Ypsilanti, Michigan. We got Yukon, Wisconsin, Texas, more UK. Thank you all for being here. North Carolina, Newfoundland. That is a place I definitely want to visit. Very cool. Thanks for being here, Lawrence. We got Marin County, California. Beautiful part of California. I love Marin County. Love to visit there. Good stuff. Thank you all for being here. Louisiana. Love visiting Louisiana too. So great. Canada and Arizona and Nebraska in the house. Thank you all for being here. And again, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, be sure to share these videos with a friend. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, Angela Petrilli Music. You can follow me on my website too, angelapetrillimusic.com. On Instagram, Angela Petrilli Music, and on Facebook and Twitter and all of that good stuff. Those of you in LA, so this upcoming Friday, January 14th, 2022, I will be playing at the Mint in Los Angeles with my band, Angela Petrilli and the Players. Going to be playing some fun covers and some originals too. So if you guys are looking for a fun Friday night, would absolutely love to have you. Be sure to say hello and all that good stuff. You can get tickets at themintla.com. They're like $15. Come and say hi. I'm going to have a bunch of merch with me and stuff. So come and say hello and rock out with us. Bring earplugs. It's going to be great. Going to have my Les Paul. It's going to be fun. And my Fishman Mustang. I'll be playing some slide on that, so it'll be a lot of fun. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the interlude of Iris here. So what we've got is this. Here's the walking bass line. I'll walk through the bass line first, and then we'll get into the open strings, okay? So we've got an open E string. Yes, is it tuned down to B? We're going to call it by its standard name. Okay. First finger, second fret. Walk it up to the third. Okay, so that's the first half. We're going to go back to the open string all the way to the 10th fret to the 8th fret. Back a whole step. Okay, let's go ahead and do that again. Open string, 10th fret, 8th fret. Okay, again without the commentary. Now, with the open strings. Again, using the pick, keeping that strumming hand moving. Nice down, up, down, up. Just like that. So that goes along with the bass line. Let's go ahead and now add those strumming. Again, take your time, folks, but keep it moving. Let's do this a few more times. Last time. Okay, so that's what's happening there. So we're gonna do here, we're gonna do an intro, we're gonna do the mandolin part, into the verse, chorus, and then into our interlude. Okay? So here we go, folks. I'll take it a little bit slower. So here are all those parts. Part. Verse. Our chorus. So here's the interludes. So that's what's happening there. So if you guys are paying attention, may have noticed I went to the 12th fret. So instead of doing that open low B, right, that E string, sometimes, this is something that I like to do. I know when I was watching Johnny Resnick, he didn't do it. I mean, that's a higher octave of that B note. So if you wanted to do that in the interlude and add that 12th fret, instead of going back to the open E, you can totally do that. So it would sound like this. Versus the open string. Now here's again, sliding to the 12th fret. again, planting the seeds, I'll leave it up to you. Sometimes it's kind of cool to change it up and add that high octave. I think it's kind of cool. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening there. All right, so now let's go ahead and look at the guitar solo. Now, I know there's an awesome slide solo. Because we're on acoustic, I'm not teaching the slide solo on here, but I'm teaching you what the acoustic guitar is doing underneath it. Do I agree that that solo rocks? Yes, it's very cool. It's very cool, but it's on electric. Maybe some other time I'll show you guys, but we're just gonna keep it to what the acoustic is doing here. So here is that guitar solo part. Sounds, looks like there's a lot going on. Don't worry, I'm gonna walk you through it. It's not as scary as it looks. Not as scary as it looks. You can totally do it. All right, so here's what's happening here. We have this first bit. If you notice, it's the same chords as the intro and the same chords as the chorus, okay? We're just strumming it a little bit differently here. It's a little more staccato. So we've got like that, okay? So what we're gonna do here, get that first finger, put it back on the 9th fret of that A string, pinky finger, 4th finger, stretch it all the way over to the 12th fret of that D string, okay? So you're gonna go down, up, mute. Just like that. Down, up, mute. Down, up, mute. Okay? Just like that. Okay? You got this. Okay? So that's the first part. Now, bring that 4th finger back to the 11th fret of that D string. Same strumming pattern. Down, up, mute. Okay? So let's do that nice and slowly here. And get those droney strings in here. That's why we took all the trouble to get this guitar in this tuning. It sounds great, so use it. Okay, again. That da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. That's what's happening there. Okay, so after that, we're gonna go ahead and place that first finger still on the 9th fret of the A string. Don't move it. Pinky finger, 11th fret of the D string. Bring it back to the 12th fret of the D string. Okay, so here's the whole part nice and slowly. I kind of like to add a little slide. That's up to you. I like to do that. Okay, and then we go back to this chord here, that 2nd finger, 5th fret of the A string, and then your 3rd finger, 5th fret of that D string. Same figure that we did at the top, okay, for that intro. So let's go ahead and do that again nice and slowly here, all of those parts. that's what's happening there. That's what's happening there. Now, for this next part, that's what's happening underneath the slide part, okay? So what we're gonna do here, how to do this, and I'll play it one more time. Okay, get that second finger, placing it on the 8th fret of that E string. Okay, that's that note there. First finger, go ahead and place that on the 7th fret of the B string, B as in boy. That's what it should sound like there, okay? So, your third finger, 9th fret of the B string, so. So that's the figure, let's talk about it, okay? Second finger on the 8th fret. Before we place that first finger on the 7th fret of the B string, what we're gonna do is just strum that. On that upstroke, place that first finger on the B string 7th fret. Then release it, open B string. Now that that's open, go ahead and reach with that third finger, 9th fret of the B string, okay? 9th fret of the B string. Like that, again. Just like that, okay, one more time. Now, once we do this, right, our third finger should be on the 9th fret of the B string. Bring that first finger back 7th fret of the B string. Then release it, open B string. Okay, so let's do this nice and slow. Here's the first figure. Notice how the strumming hand, we're moving it. We're strumming chords, right? Like that, okay? So now we're gonna do here, the figure of those notes is gonna be the same, we're just gonna move the bass. So put your first finger on that 7th fret of the E string. Now, the figure that we're gonna play, we're gonna be using different fingers for, okay? So it's gonna be a bit of a stretch, maybe a little bit of challenge for some of you, but it's a good thing, okay? So, we've got the first part. Your first finger, I want it on the 7th fret of the E string. Now your second finger is what's gonna start off the figure, okay? So, first finger, 7th fret, open chord, okay? Then, place that second finger down on the 7th fret of the B string, release, open B string. Third finger plays the 9th fret of the B string. Open, second finger, 7th fret of the B string, open B string. Okay, so just like that, let's do this part nice and slowly here, then we'll go ahead and bring both. Okay, so here we go. So let's do part 1 where we're rooted here on the 8th fret, then to the 7th fret. Here we go, nice and slowly here. A little faster here, you can do this. So that's that bit. After that, I know it's probably the trickiest, maybe the trickiest part of the song is that bit. You're gonna go ahead and bring your second finger all the way down to the 12th fret of that E string. Strum it like a regular chord. Just like that. Okay? Let's put these parts together for this guitar solo here. This is part 1, so here we go. Notice how the strumming hand keeps moving, okay? So that's what's happening there. Then we have this really cool walk down. I've watched a couple different lessons on this and watching Johnny play it, they're all a little bit different. I will give you the reason why I'm choosing to play it this way. It's also super fun, which is why I like to do it. So it sounds like this. All on that E string. It sounds like super heavy and stuff. It's great. So, what are those fret positions? We've got 12th fret. Okay, so that would be our D note, or sorry, B. B as in boy, since we're tuned down to B. Going back a half step, we are now in A. 10th fret of that E string. So 12th fret, 10th fret, 8th fret, that would be G, to the 7th fret F sharp, to the 5th fret E, to 3rd fret D. Okay, so again. Let's do that again. Now, of course, since we got all those droney strings, add them in. Strum it like a chord. Notice this down, up, down, up. Again, keeping it moving. Really cool series of chords. Let's do that again. Now, why I like to play it this way, I've seen other folks where they play it on different strings. I think it sounds great. I think it's cool. I like to do this one because it's fun. I like a good walk down, and then after this comes that interlude. So you're already in that position. You're expecting to play that open E string, and then go back to that walk up from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. That's why I'm choosing to do that walk down the way I did. So I'll do it in context from the guitar solo part, the staccato part. That's why I choose to do it like that. I think it sounds super cool. I think it sounds really cool. So that's what's happening there. Folks, that's the whole song. We did it today. We did it today. So that is the whole thing. So what I will do here is I'm going to go through and play it to speed. Abridged, of course. I'm not going to go through the entire, 4.5 minutes or however long the song is. But I will go through each of the parts. I'll go ahead and count them out and let you guys know when they're coming. Again, this has been such a blast. Folks, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel, Angela Petrilli Music. Share them with a friend. It's good stuff. Let's make 2022 the year of really getting better at playing guitar. Okay, so here we go. Here's a whole part. Intro, again, as I mentioned earlier, I'll go ahead and count out all the parts. So here we go, folks. This was Iris. Well done today. So here we go. Intro. Mandolin part. Verse. Chorus. Interlude. Solo part. Walk up or walk down. Interlude. Okay, so after that interlude that comes after the guitar solo, right? We have the interlude, we have another chorus, and then the interlude fades out. Okay? So that's the tune. That's the tune. This was a super fun one. It is such a blast. Again, those of you, if you enjoy these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you to the folks at Fishman. And most importantly, thank you to you. These riff rundowns wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you. So thank you all so much for tuning in. It is so lovely to see all of the same folks and a bunch of new names every week. So thank you all so much for being here. Such a blast. Again, you could follow me, Angela Petrilli Music, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Folks, if you are in the LA area in Southern California, I'm going to be playing a live show. I know a lot of you ask if I play live. The answer is yes. I've got a live show with my band, Angela Petrilli and the Players, January 14th, 2022 at the Mint in Los Angeles. You can grab tickets at themintla.com. Tickets are $15. Swing by, say hello. We're going to play some fun classic rock and a couple originals too. So it is going to be a blast. Again, thanks to the folks at Fishman, and as always, wishing you and sending you much success in your guitar playing journey. Thank you for allowing me to help you play guitar and to be your guitar playing mentor. It has been such a blast. We're almost at a year of doing these lessons. I think this is lesson either 46 or 47. So it has been such a wonderful year with all of you, and looking forward to a wonderful 2022. So again, wishing you much success on your guitar playing journey. I will see you guys live next week. No, I have not picked the song yet, but I have some ideas. Might be on an acoustic guitar, might be on an electric guitar. I have no idea yet, but it's going to be a blast regardless. So thank you all so much. Have a wonderful week. Wishing much success to you. And folks, we'll see you next time. Take good care.